Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Real English from Real Life podcast.
Welcome to Real English Podcast. We're so glad you're here. Before we start, if you enjoy our show, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and maybe share it with your friends. It really helps us out. Okay, so today we're starting with something pretty interesting. You know the actor George Clooney? He once joked that he and his wife Amal have never had an argument in almost 12 years. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? Like the perfect relationship, no bumps in the road. But it makes you wonder, is a relationship with absolutely zero conflict, is that really the secret to long-term happiness? Or maybe is something else going on? We're going to dive deep into an idea that might surprise you. Could arguing with your partner sometimes actually be a good thing for your relationship? We've looked at what several experts say about this, and it's quite fascinating.
It really is. It's such a common idea, that happy couples just don't fight. But the therapists we looked at, people like Joanna Harrison and Stefan Walters, they actually say the opposite. They see that trying too hard to avoid any disagreement, well, that often causes much bigger issues later on. Those feelings, the little annoyances or hurts, they don't just disappear. They kind of build up inside like pressure and can turn into resentment, which is really not good for the relationship.
Okay, so if avoiding fights isn't the answer, what does this actually mean for you, for your relationships? We're going to explore why having disagreements in a healthy way isn't just normal, but it can actually be like a skill that helps couples understand each other better and build a stronger connection, if you do it the right way, of course. And we'll give you some practical tools, things you can actually use to make those disagreements less like battles and more like, well, constructive talks. All right, let's really get into this. For a lot of us, the word argument just sounds bad. Like a warning sign, right? Something's wrong. But the experts are suggesting something really different here.
That's right. Think about those small, everyday things, maybe disagreements about chores or money or just feeling unheard. When you avoid talking about them, those feelings, they fester. They might come out in other ways, like being passive-aggressive or maybe emotionally distant. It's like shaking a soda bottle and never opening it. Eventually, it's going to make a mess. And here's something really interesting. Research mentioned by Stefan Walters actually shows that over many years, couples who do argue, couples who engage with their disagreements, they often stay together longer than couples who avoid conflict completely.
Wow, longer. That really makes you think, doesn't it? So it's not if you argue, it seems, but how you argue that matters. And just to be super clear, we are not talking about arguments that are, hostile or mean or constant fighting that never gets solved, especially if kids are around. That's obviously harmful. No, we're talking about dealing with the normal, everyday stuff, the little frictions that just happen when two people live together.
Exactly. And if you look at the bigger picture, handling these small conflicts in a healthy way helps you grow. It helps you understand your partner better, what they need, what you need. It improves how you communicate. And honestly, it's a skill, like learning anything new. Maybe you didn't see good examples growing up, but it's something you can definitely learn and practice now, and it makes the relationship stronger.
Okay, so if arguing, or maybe we should say disagreeing constructively, is a skill, what's the point? What are we aiming for when we disagree? It can't be about just one person getting their way, right? Because that doesn't really solve anything long term.
No. Absolutely not. The moment it becomes about winning, you've kind of lost already. You've lost the chance to connect. A clinical psychologist, Russell Grieger, talks about 4 ways disagreements can end up. First, there's win-lose. One person gets what they want, the other feels hurt, maybe angry, ignored, not great. Second is lose-win. So the opposite. One person gives in, maybe feels like a doormat just to keep the peace. That can build resentment too. Third, and this was really damaging, is lose-lose. Both people are stubborn, nobody gives an inch. Maybe they just want to stop the other person from winning. In the end, nobody's happy and both feel bad. And then fourth, the goal, win-win. This is where you find a solution together that actually works well for both of you. Nobody feels defeated.
Win-win. Okay, that sounds like the dream, doesn't it? But what does it really look like day to day? How do you actually shift from wanting to be right to wanting this win-win thing?
Yeah, it's a big mental shift. It means you stop seeing your partner as the enemy in that moment. The problem is the thing you need to tackle together. You're not just looking for any solution, but one that genuinely feels good and fair to both of you. It takes respect and empathy, really trying to see their side. And when you can do this consistently, it builds so much trust. You know you can face challenges together. And the experts suggest a pretty clear 5-step process to help us get there.
Okay, 5 steps. That sounds manageable. So we know why it's okay to disagree, and we know the goal is win-win. Now let's get practical. How do we actually do it? Let's say, it's Friday night, you're both tired and something comes up. What's step one? Right. The experts give us some really clear, actionable steps, things you can actually try. And the first one starts before you even really start talking about the problem. Step one, check your emotions and aim for win-win. So before diving in, try to calm down any really strong feelings. Like if you're super angry or hurt, maybe wait a bit. Acknowledge the feeling, but try to approach the talk calmly. And crucially, both people need to agree, okay, let's try and find something that works for both of us, not just, I need to convince you I'm right. This definitely means choosing the right time, too. Like, don't bring up something heavy when someone's rushing off to work or you're both exhausted. That's just asking for trouble.
Oh, absolutely. Joanna Harrison calls it having a conversation about having a conversation, which sounds a bit funny, but it's smart. Just check in. Hey, there's something I'd like to discuss. Is now okay, or can we find some time later today or tomorrow? It shows respect. And Stefan Walters adds, if now isn't good, promise to talk within, say, 24 hours. So the issue doesn't just get ignored and build up. It makes your partner feel heard.
Okay, so you've calmed down, you've found a decent time. Now, how do you actually talk and listen? This seems like where things often go wrong. Step two, really listen and try to understand. Empathy. This is huge. It means listening to understand, not just to reply. Don't interrupt. Don't plan your counter argument while they're talking. A really helpful tool here is called active listening. It means you try to say back what you heard them say in your own words to make sure you understood correctly. Like if they say, I feel like I'm doing all the housework, you might say, okay, so what I'm hearing is you feel overwhelmed and like the chores aren't shared fairly. Is that right? Then wait for them to say yes or no.
Exactly. And it's more than just repeating words. It's about truly trying to get their perspective. Ask questions like, help me understand why that feels unfair, or how does that make you feel? Empathy is key. Try to imagine being in their shoes. Ask things like, what do you need from me right now? You're trying to understand, not immediately jump in to fix it or defend yourself.
And this is where those I statements are important, right? Instead of saying you never listen, which makes people defensive immediately, you say something starting with I feel. Like, I feel hurt when it seems like my ideas aren't being heard.
Spot on. I see. Statements focus on your feeling and your experience. It's taking responsibility for how you feel instead of blaming them. It makes a huge difference. Be careful, though. Sometimes people say, I feel that you, which is still kind of blaming. It should be about your emotion. Like, I feel lonely when I'm home on Saturday night and you're out with friends. It's about your feeling in that situation.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, step three, stick to one topic. This is a hard one. It's so easy when you're upset to bring up, like, everything else they ever did wrong and another thing.
Oh, yeah, the kitchen sink argument. Very tempting, but really unhelpful. Trying to solve 5 problems at once just creates some, an emotional fog. Nobody can focus. You end up going in circles. So really try. Pick one specific problem and stick to talking about that until you find some kind of solution or understanding for just that one thing.
But what if you're trying your best, you're using I statements, you're listening, but things still get too intense. Emotions just take over sometimes. Step 4, take a break. Time out. If you feel yourself or your partner getting really worked up, defensive, maybe voices are rising, it is totally okay to pause. Just say, you know what, I'm getting too upset. Can we take a break and come back to this in like 20 minutes or maybe tomorrow morning? It's not giving up. It's being smart.
Exactly. It's a strategic pause. Linda Blair even suggests some practical things, like try talking about difficult things in a public place, maybe over coffee. You're less likely to yell. Or, interestingly, try talking side by side, like sitting on a couch or walking instead of face to face. Direct eye contact can feel a bit confrontational sometimes, sort of a basic animal instinct. Sitting next to each other can actually help keep things calmer.
Interesting tip. Okay, so finally, you've talked, maybe you took a break, you've listened. How do you actually find that win-win solution and, fix any hurt feelings? Step 5, brainstorm together and repair the connection. Okay, synergistic brainstorming. That sounds a bit like business jargon. What does it mean for a couple?
Yeah, it does sound fancy. It just means working together creatively. Like instead of just picking person A's idea or person B's idea, you put your heads together to invent a new idea, option C, that actually meets both your needs. So once things are calm and you feel understood, you share ideas. What if we tried this? What about that? Keep talking until you land on something that genuinely feels good to both of you. Be creative. Maybe one wants a loud party, the other wants quiet. The win-win isn't just taking turns. Maybe it's finding a cool restaurant with live music that's not too loud or hosting a smaller gathering. It's about finding a shared solution. And then the repair part is vital. After things calm down, maybe ask, so what was that really about for you earlier? Show you care. And apologize. Even if you don't think you were totally wrong, apologize for your part or just for the hurt caused. Saying, I'm sorry we argued, shows you value the relationship more than being right. And then, this is important, let it go. Once it's resolved, move on, don't keep score. Every disagreement handled well is a chance to learn and make your connection stronger.
Those steps are super helpful for handling arguments when they happen. But the experts also talked about just general things you can do in the relationship every day to maybe have fewer conflicts in the first place and feel more connected. First one, try to assume good intentions. This is a big one. It's easy to think the worst, isn't it? They left the mess on purpose to annoy me.
It is easy. So the advice is to pause. Ask yourself, what am I assuming here? Could there be another explanation? Maybe they were just rushed or forgot. Try to think of a positive reason first. Or even better, just ask them calmly later, hey, what happened with Mammoth? Most often, people aren't trying to deliberately hurt their partner. Assuming goodwill builds trust.
Good reminder. Next, don't sweat the small stuff. Or try not to.
Yeah, easier said than done sometimes. But really, so many little daily annoyances just don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Practice patience. Try to accept that nobody's perfect, including you. Choose your battles. Sometimes letting minor things go is the best thing for peace.
Okay, then there's revisit why you fell in love and define your blueprint for love.
Right. Sometimes it's just remembering the good times, why you chose each other, what you admire about them that can help put things in perspective when you're stressed. And a blueprint for love just means talking together about what a good, loving relationship looks like for both of you. What do you each need? What are your shared goals? Having that shared vision helps avoid misunderstandings.
And lastly, have regular couple check-ins.
Yeah, like a little relationship tune-up. Maybe once a month, just set aside some time to talk honestly. What's going well for us? What's been difficult? Is there anything we need to start doing or stop doing? It's proactive. It helps you catch small issues before they become big problems. Keeps you both growing together.
These are all great tips, but what about couples who aren't living together? For people in long-distance relationships, communication is obviously key, but are there specific challenges or tips for them when it comes to disagreements?
That's a really important point. Distance definitely adds challenges. The advice is clear. For important talks, video or phone calls are much, much better than texting. You need the tone of voice, the facial expressions to really understand each other and avoid misinterpretations. Texting is just too easy to misunderstand when things are sensitive. Also, when you are on a call, try to be fully present. Don't multitask. Give them your full attention. And if a long-distance call gets too heated and you need a break, it's even more important to agree on a specific time you'll reconnect, so your partner doesn't feel left hanging, wondering if you're upset or ignoring them across the miles. Hashtag tag outro.
Wow. Okay, this has really shifted how I think about arguments. It seems like they're not just normal, but if you learn the skills, they can actually be, well, useful, a way to build a stronger, more honest relationship.
Exactly. It's about changing that goal from winning to understanding. It's about using those I statements, really listening, knowing when to pause. These aren't just tricks. They're ways to turn difficult moments into opportunities to actually get closer and understand each other better.
So for you listening, maybe think about this. What's one small thing, just one little change you could try this week when a disagreement comes up? Maybe it's just pausing before you react, or trying one I feel statement, or really focusing on listening without interrupting.
Yeah, even a tiny shift can make a surprisingly big difference over time. It helps build that foundation of trust and understanding. We really hope this deep dive gives you some helpful ideas and maybe a bit more confidence in navigating your own relationships.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Real English Podcast today for this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another topic to explore. Bye for now.
Want to practice these phrases? Download your free PDF guide to review vocabulary, role plays, and quizzes. Find the link in the description and pinned comment, and feel free to share it with friends.
Like and subscribe for more English tips.